Today we're going to be taking a detailed look at the LEGO Bricklink Designer Program Studgate train station. With 4,076 pieces, this set is absolutely massive. It sits on a 48 by 48 base plate, is very tall, and can accommodate 2 trains. The pieces are divided among 23 different bags or building stages, and they're actually pretty big, like there's multiple bags per step. So the pieces are just filling my desk here. In addition to the numbered bags, we also get some larger elements in these bags right over here. There's a small sticker sheet, some straight track, and then these 2 large plate elements which will actually support the 2 locomotives that come with this set as well. So that's pretty awesome. And then once again, we get that large 15 by 15 base plate. But this is a lot of pieces. It is going to be quite the build. The set comes with 11 minifigures. We have 2 train drivers, 1 male, 1 female, the station master, the hot dog stand employee. This guy cleans up after everybody. Then we get a bunch of travelers. This young boy here comes with a guitar. This guy is going on quite the adventure. She's just going on a casual train ride. Same with her, taking some pictures along the way. I love this guy's jacket there. It's got the fur popping off the top there with one of those bird nest elements. And then this lady here in a wheelchair. 11 decent minifigures, more so just civilians. They have some pretty common torsos and legs. That's how Bricklink Designer Program sets are. I'm happy that they come with some awesome accessories though, and they do a great job of populating the train station. You actually start the build off by constructing these 2 train engines, which are absolutely fantastic. I love the color combination, black, yellow, white, and light gray, and they're all brick built. There's none of the large pre-molded pieces like we see in so many of the official LEGO sets. The way these slopes and inverted slopes come together is just really satisfying, and the colors are so bold, they just pop. They have the standard train wheels and magnetic couplers. They have some sticker usage to add some detail and some interesting building techniques. I really like the top here, just how rounded it is, and that can actually be very easily removed. It's held in spot by 4 jumpers. Up front here we have the main cab with 2 chairs, a lever, a printed piece, and some grille elements, which are on some hinged connectors. Inside, just some basic seats on some dark gray plates, but these can actually be removed. And this will allow you to stick a train motor in there on those 2x2 jumpers. And then that motor could, of course, power some drive wheels, which are not included in the set, but it looks like it would be very easy to convert into a motorized train. Definitely a great addition to the set. So glad that it came with the 2 train engines. The Studgate station, everybody. This thing is brilliant. I want to let you know that we will be firing up some trains and they will be passing through the Studgate station later on in this review. But first we're going to take a detailed look at this incredible, massive, modular train station. Starting with the front entrance, we've got a 1x8 sticker element here, Studgate, with the LEGO City train logo on either side, a bat above that, a clock, and it's nicely framed with the trophy minifigures, some handcuffs, and some of those rubberized sort of tail elements there. And just behind that, there's a patio with some really nice umbrellas at those interesting angles, some awesome light fixtures, a plant, and there's a couple places to sit, a newspaper stand, there's the stair access, and this whole area is enclosed using the unique black fence elements with the tan tile tops. A dinosaur egg on the corner is a nice touch, and same with the inverted arches behind. The architecture is to be noted. I love the use of the lampposts as support pillars. There's the stairs leading up to that patio there. There's some lights as well, some flowers, and it's really well tiled off with the light gray shield tiles and the 2x2 dark tiles. That looks absolutely fantastic. There is the stairs leading into the Studgate train station. Got some nice texture with those pillars and also the modified 1x4x6 window frame and window glass with the slats. Looks really good. Also, right over here, you can see that there is a wheelchair ramp, so it is wheelchair accessible, which is nice. I also like the studs going around the exterior of the patio here. It just adds a nice texture to the building and, of course, matches the title of this train station. So at first glance, the front of this building is just beautiful, and then behind the patio, we can see the canopy, which is created using the garage door elements. That is so cool. They're held in spot by the Technic pieces there at that interesting angle. It is just so neat. I love that. And you can actually see through it, which is really cool. So I love the transparency aspect of this design. When turned on an angle, you can see the stairs, which will bring passengers to either platform. Those stairs use basic stair elements, but they're really well framed. They have some interesting elements on them that just add a nice texture and nice detail. Once again, more studs as well, and they're just really nicely fenced off, and the handrails are made with the flex tubing there. And the top of this building is amazing as well. We've got a clock right here, and that's nicely surrounded by those curved black tiles. And that same design is carried over onto this side as well. I love the shield tile right here and the pieces on either side, which actually originated in Elves sets. The patios on this set are so cool. They're just like really well framed off. This thing has me like gushing. It's actually such a neat build. You'll see the chain moving in the inside and the chandelier that's attached to that chain. But I love this like top dome here, or sphere, that's built using all sorts of glass elements. You can see some of the glass like poles or rods in the inside there, some larger windscreens and then some smaller ones with the tip at the top there. Yeah, like that is just so neat. And the chandelier is actually supported by this structure here, and it's attached to the large cone on top. But the rooftop patio is awesome. Got a couple sets of binoculars up here so people can take a look at the surrounding city architecture. This is just cool. I just love all the different inverted arches and macaroni bricks and dinosaur eggs that went into creating the architecture of this building. A couple more places to sit up here as well, with some couches and those umbrellas at those unique angles. And then the hot dog stand over here where he's doling out some fresh dogs, got some ketchup and mustard, and then a little compartment there with some hot wieners inside. The rooftop patio can be accessed from the stairs that pop out right there, and they branch off that pedway connecting the platform. Minifigures can only access the Studgate station from one side. There's no door on this side here, but it matches the architecture style. We've got those textured pillars, the windows with the slats, some nice slope work, and then of course the canopy going over top using the garage door elements and Technic pieces. Minifigures can make their way inside through the arched entryway there. There's a Studgate sign just above it, and there's our station master. There's also a little ticket booth right there where minifigures can buy their tickets and board their train. There's a bunch of minifig stands. That's the 3x4 modified plates with the 4 studs, and that runs the whole platform there. So it's really easy to position your minifigures, and I think the platform has a great combination of smooth tile finish and also studs. And I like the color combination of dark tan and white. And once again, it is wheelchair accessible, and there's the ramp right there. Another interesting thing about the platform is this can actually hinge. I'm guessing that's so we can have larger trains pass through if they need more clearance. So I love that design aspect, because there's trains that need a little bit more space than that platform currently offers. Here's our chandelier that hasn't stopped moving the entire review. It's hanging on a very long chain, so it does have a tendency to move around a lot, but once it's positioned in the city, it should sit still. It's got some flame elements, of course, and then all sorts of Technic pieces and some of those Elvish pieces as well. The colors are very bold, black and gold. The underside of the stairs have an interesting shape with those arches, and same with our main support beam just behind the chandelier there. It uses all sorts of arches and slopes. You know what? I can easily remove the top, and I don't know why I didn't. Let's do that now. This massive roof is actually held in spot by 4 things. We've got these 2 little modified 1x1 studs. The Technic elements just sort of insert into those like the ends of Technic pins. And then also we have 2 pins right here on either side of that staircase, and those clip into the roof as well. It's just a modified plate with the holes. So yeah, it's just held in by those 4 elements, and then gravity takes care of the rest. I love the architectural style of this and the beam and the staircase. It looks fantastic, but you know what? I think I've talked enough about the train station. We should fire up some trains and have them pass through this massive train station. I had a spare set of drive wheels, also a IR receiver and battery box. So now I have the little train engine here powered up, ready to go. So that's good. With the seats removed, it's very easy to fit these components within the train. But oh no, it looks like I should have went with the Bluetooth power functions, because this component right here is actually just 1 plate too high. So the roof will not fit on. What I could do is just remove the jumpers and tiles and inset this 1 more plate, or I could just make the switch. It looks like it should fit, but it just doesn't quite fit, unfortunately. Most people are going to use the Bluetooth power functions, but I actually really don't mind the IR receiver and IR remote. So I decided to replace the 4x10 white plate with a 4x4, and that's going to give it the space it requires to close properly. And I set up a pretty big circuit over here as well. So it's got 2 full loops that both pass through the train station. Okay, so here we go. I've got both trains ready to go. I actually moved my high-speed passenger train onto this line down here. I will say that there is a slight gradient and a slight downhill. That's because I built my train station on mills. I'm thankful I did, because this would be pretty flimsy if it was just on that 48x48 gray base plate. I think it's necessary to have it on a mills plate for sure. But this is all powered up, so it can go. And of course, so is this one here. Oh, turn it on, of course. And they can both pass by each other through the train station there. And this one's running pretty smoothly. It is a heavier train. There's a reason that Lego sets use the pre-molded noses. That's because they're lighter. Therefore, the drive wheels don't have to work as hard to power the train. For example, this one here cannot tow both engines. It can only go with one engine. I tried it with both engines and the wheels were just spinning out. I'll show you that in one moment here. But you can see the engine is working a little bit harder to get that one around the track when you compare it to the very lightweight high-speed passenger train that can just fly around the track. So that's why they use pre-molded pieces. So we've got a double circuit here, 2 large sort of ovals, not commonly found in Lego cities. I will say that this train station is going to be very difficult to integrate properly into my Lego city because it requires a lot of space. It's on a huge base plate, and it's also got 2 lines that are sort of in the center of that base plate, actually offset a little bit there. So it is going to be a little bit difficult to get integrated properly. But I love these little trains here. They're pretty cool. But you'll see when I have 2 of them here, it struggles a little bit with the toe. The wheels are sort of spinning out there. See, can't make it around the corner. And that's when it's full tilt right now. Even though the piece of my train broke off there, it looks like. So yeah, unfortunately the drive wheels, the way that I have them set up, can only tow 1 car right now, unlike the high-speed passenger train. It's unfortunate because I'm sure a lot of people that acquired this set would be looking to create custom passenger cars, right? For this train here, just to extend it. And it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do that. Maybe if I put the drive wheels on the front rather than the back, maybe you'd be able to tow a little bit more. Maybe the Bluetooth power functions would be a little bit more powerful. Maybe there'd be a way to add more traction to it. But I don't know. Either way, I'm happy with the way it's operating right now. I think it's pretty exciting. Now, one thing I want to talk about is switch tracks, because that would be an easy way to integrate this into the Lego City. So besides back here where we have the amusement park line, the city line, and also the raised line, I don't really have 2 train tracks side by side. That would be ideal for this train station. So I was thinking maybe I could use a switch track and just have a little parking spot for a train, specifically the Hogwarts Express in the amusement park. It's to be expected that unfortunately that's not going to work perfectly because the switch track actually has the 2 tracks too far apart. I think the easiest way to correct the alignment when using a switch track is to use FlexiTrack. I've decided to use 8 pieces of FlexiTrack, which converts to 2 straight tracks, and they go at a slight angle there. So now the high-speed passenger train should be able to switch track there, make its way up the slight gradient, and then switch back. So I think that's the best setup. If you're integrating it into a city like mine where you don't really have 2 train lines side by side, it's probably optimal. It does take up quite a bit of space, and mine is taking up more space because I didn't want this switch to happen on the gradient, because once again it's transitioning down from the mills plate, which is a brick and a plate higher than the ground, and if I didn't have to do that, then I could actually move this right here forward so it's right there when it enters the station. So it would take up less space when it's actually integrated into the Mills plate system. But it seems to work well. I usually don't like using FlexiTrack, but it is good. It's very versatile, and it can help us fix situations like this. So my plan, which might change, is to place it right here in the amusement park using the switch tracks. But in order for that plan to work, it has to pass one final test with the Hogwarts Express and the Disney train. And the question is, are they too wide? So the Hogwarts Express, it fits, no problem. But the Disney train, which is actually wider, does not. Collides right there. So in order to put this in the amusement park, I would have to modify the platforms by removing the hinged element, because I don't think I want to move the tracks closer together than they already are. Well, everybody, there we have the LEGO Bricklink Designer Program Studgate Station. Price aside, I think it's a fantastic set, but is going to be very difficult to integrate into the city simply because my city doesn't have a huge amount of space for trains. Well, that's a lie. It has a huge amount of space allocated to trains, but there's not really two lines side by side that this can sort of integrate into without some major changes. I think the best opportunity I have is going to be putting it into the amusement park. But yeah, pretty sweet set. It's awesome. It's the best train station ever released in LEGO, that is for sure. Let me know what you think of the set by commenting below. Remember to like, subscribe, and have yourselves a fantastic day. And let's catch this train popping through one more time.